Reverberation. Activity. Close all doors and windows of a room. Play radio or music system with maximum possible volume. What do you experience? The music becomes confusing, blurred, and continuous. The loudness and intensity of the sound increases, and the individual who hears this feels uneasy. Repeated reflections of sound waves from the walls combine to build up what seems like a continuous sound. This results in the persistence of sound called reverberation. The time interval between the successive arrival of the same sound signal goes on decreasing. Also, the intensity of sound gradually decreases. But these reflected sounds interfere and cause a jumbling and prolongation of sound in the room. Due to this pitch, music will not be heard distinctly. Some public halls or auditoriums are considered acoustically poor because of reverberation. To reduce reverberation, the roof and walls of auditoriums are generally covered with sound-absorbent materials like compressed fibre-boards, rough plaster, or draperies such as curtains. The material for the seat is selected such that it is a good absorber of sound waves. Friends, now let us see how man has used the characteristics of sound to good effect. SONAR. SONAR is an acronym for Sound Navigation and Ranging. SONAR measures the distance, direction, and speed of underwater objects using ultrasonic waves. SONAR consists of a transmitter and a detector. It is installed in a ship or a boat. The transmitter produces and transmits ultrasonic waves. These waves travel through water. They get reflected after striking the object on the seabed. The reflected waves are sensed by the detector. The detector converts the ultrasonic waves into electrical signals which are appropriately interpreted. The time interval between transmission and reception of the ultrasound is recorded. By knowing the speed of sound in water and considering the above time interval, the distance of the object that reflected the sound wave can be calculated. Sonar technique is used to determine the depth of the sea. It is useful to locate underwater hills, valleys, submarines, icebergs, sunken ships, etc. The human ear. Students, with this we have come to the final part of this chapter. Human beings hear sound through one of its most important organs, the ear. It converts pressure variations with audible frequencies into electrical signals that travel to the brain via the auditory nerve. There are three major parts of the ear. 1. External. 2. Middle. And 3. Inner. The external part, called the pinna, collects the sound which is carried by the auditory canal to the eardrum. The eardrum is a thin membrane. It is set into vibrations due to the sound reaching it. When a compression of medium reaches the eardrum, the pressure outside the membrane increases and forces the eardrum inwards. The eardrum moves outwards when a rarefaction reaches it, and the eardrum vibrates. The vibrations are amplified and carried to the inner part of the ear. A part of the auditory nerve connects the part of inner ear to the brain. There is a spiral chamber like a snail shell in the inner ear called cochlea. It is responsible for recognizing the qualities of sound, that is, loudness and pitch. In cochlea, the vibrations received from the eardrum are converted into nerve impulses or electrical signals which are sent to the brain through the auditory nerve. The brain then interprets them as sound. The amplitude of vibration of membrane gives the brain a measure of loudness of sound being heard.